And welcome to another episode of Brooklyn's World. So I'm just on my daily walk at the moment, and I have to say it's much slower than what it usually is, and that's mainly because I can't make my arm jump around too much while I'm walking, because otherwise it really hurts, and I don't want it to hurt because it hurts enough. So just a lovely little stroll instead of a power walk is what it's been like for me for the last few weeks. A little view of the lake that I'm walking around. It's not really that exciting, but it's something to look at. What a horrible cold old day it is today. So I finally got my appointment with the orthopedic clinic. It had been a really long 3 weeks waiting for this appointment, because when I initially got diagnosed with a fractured arm, and I had the x-ray, the doctor told me that they think that they have a tumor in my arm. So that's why I had to have the CT scan. And the results of the CT scan that I saw did show that there was a tumor, but they weren't able to tell me anything else about it until I saw the orthopedic team at the hospital. I didn't really want to say anything about this prior to me seeing the orthopedic people, because who knows, it might not have been anything. But as it turns out, it is. And I have to say that 3 weeks of waiting just to see if there actually was a tumor or not that was there was the longest 3 weeks of my life. And I've gone through a whole lot of emotions, a whole lot of feelings, and I'm just glad that now we're finally starting to get somewhere with it. The first thing I had to do at the orthopedic clinic was go and have some more x-rays done. And oh my goodness, the positions that they wanted me to put my arm in so they could get a clear look of anything were ridiculous, and they really hurt. It was then onto the clinic. The doctor first showed me the x-rays and showed me exactly where my fracture was and exactly where this mass or tumor is as well. And it turns out that they were in completely different positions to what my doctor had told me. The doctor then decided to remove my cast because he didn't want my elbow to completely seize up while being totally immobile for all of the weeks that it might be needed for. But I have to keep my arm still in a sling for at least another 3 weeks. As soon as the cast came off, I got this massive wave of pain. It was really, really intense. And so much so that the nurse had to stop what she was doing and go and get me some painkillers before she could continue. I don't think my arm liked being set free. I also got the first glimpse of the bruising that had finally come up on my arms, as when I first fell over, the first 2 days, I had no bruising or swelling at all, and I was beginning to wonder, was it ever going to bruise? Yes, it was. The wall where I went down, 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 crash, and I'm pretty sure that that bit of skirting board is what's made that stripe bruise. We also discovered that somehow I'd managed to break my cast. The nurse could not figure out how I had done that, as it really should not have happened, but it does explain how I was able to bend my arm when I had it in the cast. I guess my arm was looking to gain freedom, all of its own free will. So this is part of my cast. This is a part that my arm rested on. And when I do this, as you can see, this top bit moves because somehow I'd managed to break the bit where my elbow was sitting. So that was not meant to happen. The orthopedic doctor wanted me to have an MRI so he can investigate this tumour a little bit further. But unfortunately, I can't go in an MRI because of the 2 neuromodulators that I have implanted in me for my interstitial cystitis. They are totally not compatible with those machines, and basically if I went in one, I would probably blow it up and do some damage to myself. So MRIs are out totally for me at all times. So the next best thing that he decided is that I would get a bone scan done, and that should be able to give just as good results as the MRI. Even though my cast is off now, really the only difference that it has made to my life is my arm isn't as heavy. It's still immobile, it still hurts, and I still can't really move it that much. I've also discovered some more things that I can't do, which are just everyday things that I've never thought anything of, and it is really quite remarkable how many things you take for granted every single day that you can just do by yourself. So for the next 2 or 3 weeks, all I can do is just ride my time out and just wait to see what this bone scan says. It's all I can do, but I do know that once I have the results from that, and either it turns out to be nothing or it is something and then there is a plan of attack for it, then I think that I will feel a whole lot better and a whole weight will be lifted off my mind and my chest. Thank you for tuning in again to another episode of Brooklyn's World. I will continue to keep you updated and hopefully I have some excellent news next time. Bye.